Hi internet friends, my name is John, and in this video we will be looking at the Microsoft PowerToys. Now, according to Microsoft, after we install the PowerToys, we will become the power users. I don't really know what a power user is, if I'm honest. In my head, I'm sort of hoping that I can install it, go down the gym, I'll start benching big without doing any effort. However, I don't think that's very realistic. Joking aside, I've actually installed this program for a few months. I've had it running on my computer. It's about 6 or 7 free utilities. It's all free to download. You install it and they're actually pretty useful. So if you haven't heard about PowerToys before, what we're going to do in this video is going to take you 5-10 minutes. It's free to download. You're going to learn about all the different features and how you can use it. I reckon by the end of the video, you'll be thanking me because you'll actually quite like it. If this is the first time you have come across my channel, then obviously this is YouTube, and if you want to be an absolute legend and you like the thought of seeing weekly videos on web development and productivity, please hit the subscribe button. You will be a legend. Anyway, let's get on and start installing this program and seeing what it is all about. Installing PowerToys is super simple and it will take us 30 seconds. As always, Google is our friend, so type in PowerToys into Google. Scroll down to find the official Microsoft page, click on the big Install PowerToys button, scroll down on the release page, and as you can see, we have PowerToys, highlighted very badly. Click on the link, download it. It will take about 30 seconds. Once the install is downloaded, click on it, click the next few times, job done, installed. Let us kick our learnings off with my favorite utility within the PowerToy, and that is the Fancy Zones. Now, if the absolute horror show on the screen resonates with you, this is where the fancy zones will help you. Now, let's do a very contrived example of a normal workflow. So let's say I'm doing some work within an application, doesn't really make a difference what application. I'm sat here tippy-tapping away. Now I've got stuck, I need to do a bit of research. I need my Chrome, so I'm gonna go all the way down the bottom here. I'm gonna get up my Chrome, gonna open it up. Gonna do my little bit of research. Do my research, found out what I need. Now I need to go back to my application, go down the bottom here, open it up. Right now I want to do a commit, I want to check something in. Now I'm gonna get my terminal in. You sort of get the gist. Like, this workflow really isn't very efficient. However, I'm betting most people watching this are doing this right now. And this is where Fancy Zones comes in, and I found this a massive productivity boost for me. So what happens is, after installing the PowerToys, using the absolute might of this little finger and pressing it on the shift key, what happens is that when I start dragging around my applications, yeah, that one does not work, you can see that we get these fancy zones. So here we've got a number 1 and a number 2. And if I just simply drop my application on a zone and let go of my finger, you can see that things snap into place. So as you can see now, I've got my Chrome. Oh, wow, now my application is really simple. Now the really nice thing about this is, say that I want to have do a bit of work and then I actually just want to snap things around. It's super simple and quick. I don't have to go down the bottom anymore, and it's actually really easy. Now, after installing your PowerToys, ensure that it's running. You can do this down the bottom here by going to PowerToys. You'll see this little icon, click on it. Now, I'm hoping that you can see this. My big head isn't in the way. But if you go down to your taskbar, you can see this PowerToy icon. I'm hoping you can see it. Clicking on that opens up this PowerToy settings. Now, one important thing that you need to do when you're using the fancy zones is to make sure that admin mode is working. So as you can see here, we've got this administrator mode. Always run as the administrator. So obviously, if you're opening applications as a developer and they're in admin mode, you will not be allowed to drag them around unless this is set to run as admin. So make sure you have that set. Now, Fancy Zones itself has a load of settings. I will not bore you with going all through them. However, the one that is really useful is this Fancy Zone Layout Editor. So when we click on this, you can see that we get an editor in front of us. From here, I can select zones on each monitor, so I can have different layouts depending on which monitor I'm using. Out of the box, you can see that we come with columns, grids, these sort of basic ones. You're also free to create your own one. So say if I'm doing my development workflow, I like to have this one because it means I can have my editor, my terminal, and my browser open. I can also create my own layout, which is quite nice. So I can do create a new custom layout right here. So if I click on edit selected layout, you can see that I can add in a new zone. So I could have zone 1, I could have zone 2. Let's save and apply. I'm not sure why you'd ever use this configuration. It's a bit interesting. However, once selecting, you can see that I've very quickly and very easily created a way of snapping my applications together. So if you're not using it and it very resonates with you that you're constantly switching between your applications, just download PowerToys, give Fancy Zones a try, and I reckon that after a week it will be a game changer for you. So give it a try. The second tool that I would like to show you is the application launcher. Now, before I installed PowerToys, I was using a program called Launchy for years. I really like Launchy. However, the one which actually comes with PowerTools is much nicer and much quicker. So finger, what we're going to do is go, space. And as you can see, we have an application launcher. Type in the name of your application. The list is pretty instantaneous. That's the word I was going for. And as you can see all of the applications and launch them by just pressing the down arrow. Super quick. This is so much more efficient than getting your mouse, putting it down the start menu each time. And as you can see, it works really quickly and really well. So kudos to Microsoft, the PowerToys 2 for 2 tools, smashing it so far. Feature number 3 is for all the web developers who are watching this. Now, if you're like me and you need to work with color on a fairly regular basis, you know that you're going to need some sort of color picker. And ideally, you can have a color picker which works across all your different applications. And this is where PowerToys is going to hook you up. So simply by doing a Shift, a Windows key and a C, you're going to get this quite nice little color picker. This is going to allow you to pick any color on your screen. So this is quite handy. So after finding the perfect color, I like this one. Clicking on the color is going to get this little dialog. As you can see, we have this nice gradient so you can see all the related colors. You can copy the hex code. You can copy the RGB code. You can also copy the hustle code. Remember, hustle people. Yeah, but joking aside, this is really handy. If you saw my last video where I said I use a Chrome extension, I use that quite a lot. However, I use this whenever I'm on my main Windows PC because I actually quite like it. And again, it works between different applications rather than just in a single browser, so it's pretty nice. Out of all of the tools that PowerToys provides, the 3 that we've just gone over are generally ones that I use on a daily basis, especially Fancy Zone. It's become an essential part of my workflow. However, Fancy Zone still has a few different little secrets up its sleeves. So let's have a look at these. Now, these tools are all super useful. However, I don't tend to find that I use these on a daily basis. However, they're definitely worth knowing about. So on the screen right in front of us, you can see that I've downloaded a very beautiful image by a guy called Mario. Now, I downloaded the image from Unsplash, and if you want some free photography and you haven't come across Unsplash yet, definitely go over there, check it out. There's loads and loads of free photography that you can use. It's great. Now, if we right click on this image, you can see that we have this resize picture option. Hopefully I can highlight it. There we go, resize pictures. So right clicking on the resize pictures gives us this dialog where we can create a crop of our image really quickly. So as you can see, we've got small crops, phone crops. If we just click on resize, it's going to create a little recrop for us, and this means that we've created a new variation without having to open up any other images or applications. So it's really super quick and useful to use. Definitely if you're doing web content, it can be handy. Now, the next one I'll show you is Power Rename, and this allows you to bulk rename things. So as you can see, clicking on the little option gives us the option to do a bulk rename. We have a load of options. So let's say we've done a search for Mario Dash. I'm going to place it with John Dash. There's loads of different ways that we can do searching and all that sort of stuff. I won't bore you. So let's make it title case. And then if I do a rename, as you can see, the files are now called John. Perfect. As I was saying, if you're working with log files or a number of files which are named the same, this can be really handy. I do this maybe once a month, so it can be handy, but I don't use it daily. Now the next one I'll show you is for all of those who are trying to remember the Windows shortcut keys. So keep your finger on the Windows key and you'll get this reminder pop up. So from here you can learn about all the different useful shortcuts. So let's say we want to open the game bar. Let's be honest, I didn't even know there was a game bar until I installed this plugin. So this is really handy. We can just get rid of the game bar by pressing G. And as you can see, 3 useful tips. You're probably not going to use them on a daily basis. However, they're definitely worth having in the bag. And because you're going to install PowerToys anyway, they're just sat there. So make the use of all these features. It's super handy. We are down to the last 2 utilities that come with the PowerToys. Now, I don't tend to use these one that often, which is why I left them to the end. However, for completeness, I'm going to tell you about them because someone out there might like it. So there's the File Explorer. Now, this just gives you an extra preview for SVGs and Markdown. For whatever reason, it's not working on my PC, otherwise I'd show it in action. However, it's not working. Now, the last one is the Keyboard Manager. Keyboard Manager allows you to redefine keys on your keyboard. Personally, I'd find it super annoying to not use the defaults, so I would never use this. However, I guess if you're trying to prank your colleague and you want to wind them up, you could remap all their keyboard shortcut keys. It would be super frustrating, so maybe that's its intention, to annoy the people you work with. Aside from that, this completely wraps up PowerToys, and I'm hoping that I've convinced you that it's definitely worth installing. There's some really good stuff in there, and I hope you benefited from this video. Just a quick final word from me. I hope you enjoyed the video and you learned something from it. I would be super interested to hear all your thoughts, so please leave any comments below. Really interested to know which is your favorite PowerToy utility, or if there's any other utilities you think I should be reviewing. If you enjoy this content and you like learning about web development or productivity, then be an absolute legend. Help me grow this channel and hit that subscribe button. Won't hurt, won't cost you anything, and you just get to see some free videos. Also, if you want to do me a solid, hit that like button. All it does is tricks YouTube into showing more people my content, so I would greatly appreciate it. Anyway, I hope you have an amazing day and happy coding.